Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday Live here on the Cape May Brewing Company Facebook page. And I have two guests, as you can see here on the boob tube, on the book of the face, as my friend John Henderson says. I got somebody that you should know really well, who's been on more time. He's now the third most guested person on a South Jersey beer scene production. That's Brian Hink. He's a production planning and specialty brewing manager.
Hey guys.
And down there we got a rookie. We got Kaitlyn Smith. She's a Brewtique manager and merchandiser. She was a little nervous, so we got to make her feel at home here, guys. So,
please do, guys. Hi.
So welcome, Kaitlyn. So
thanks for having us.
Oh, it's so great. This is so awesome. It's our second Thirsty Thursday that we've done with CMBC, and it's the holiday season. And I'm sitting here like I'm talking to my friends around the fire. Let's got the simulated fire going on behind us. So what's happening, guys? So we got some stuff going on at the Brewtique, and we're going to go to Kaitlyn first. So to get that, you know, when you're waiting to talk and you're waiting to get your name called. Well, here you go.
I'm ready, Coach. Put me in.
So tell us what's going on at the Brewtique, Kaitlyn.
We have so much fun stuff going on at the Brewtique right now. Everybody is in the midst of last minute holiday shopping. And to help out with that, this week we decided to let people come back into the Brewtique to do some last minute shopping. So tonight I actually brought a few of my last minute fun favorite gifts that you can pick up now, either online or in store. I'm wearing one of them. This is our new winter beanie. It's very subtle, has a nice little logo hit at the top. Also, I do have one of our brand new glasses. I'm drinking some delicious Cape May water.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Looks like the internet guys got her. So we'll bring her back in a minute. I'm going to pull her out. That's the thing when you do this stuff live. Sometimes you get a little hiccup on the internet there. Here she comes back. There you are. You're back.
I'm back. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Great. Well, I was just going to tell you guys about the last thing I was going to highlight, which is one of our new brewmates. This is the Brewmate Trio. It's great for 12-ounce cans and 16-ounce cans. It's also great for coffee. So it's really the best gift for basically everyone. Beer lover, non-beer lover, people who want to be a beer lover. It's definitely a staff favorite right now. We're really trying to keep them in stores for as long as we can, but they're going really fast. And Brian's drinking out of another really great last minute gift. Brian, you want to show off your new glass?
Fancy. I just got this before the show. Thank you, Kaitlyn, for sharing. Apparently this thing is near field communication, so you can like tap your phone to it and videos will play on your phone. I would display it, but I have an iPhone 5, so it doesn't work for me. But anyone who has
wait a second, you have an iPhone 5? Does it just show stuff in black and white? Come on, man.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say that out loud, Brian. Apple's going to hear that and they're going to be like, "You got to get an upgrade, dude, so you can get that new glass from Cape May Brew Co."
It's a great glass. 20 ounces, nice, brings all the aromatics out of it, nice drive to it. Drinking Cape May IPA, good old flagship workhorse IPA for us. It's great all around beer. I like it. Good glass. I would buy one if I needed it.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob Evans is saying he has one of those OG hats that you're wearing there, Brian.
This hat is very old, so Rob Evans, hang on to it. You can't get these anymore. This hat's about 8 years old, I think. Yeah,
it's a cool hat. They're both cool. You guys have some really nice swag down there, and it's not just that. You have a lot of different T-shirts and different things for men, women, kids, dogs. I think we got a lot of stuff going on down there.
This year we do have some treats for the dogs, and they are pretty sweet. We have like a little dog toy shaped like an IPA can. It's adorable. It's really great.
My dog would think it's adorable for about 11 minutes, and then it wouldn't look like anything anymore. That's where we're at with my dog. I'm going to get back to the glass that Brian had. So this is not just a one-shot deal. It's kind of a long-term investment. You guys have some big plans for that technology.
Yeah, our hope is to use it as a way for people to get like an inside look and reconnect with the brew crew in a way. The current video, when you click on it now, it's ironically me. And I'm kind of doing like a Vanna White moment, showing off all my favorite holiday swag. There's some really great one-line jokes in there. But we had a lot of fun, me and the marketing team, putting that video together. Thank you, Courtney. But our hope is we're going to keep the link live and we're going to switch it up as often as we can. So, every once in a while, don't forget to tap the glass and see what Cape May Brew Co. is working on.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. That's really cool technology. And also, we wanted to mention that you guys are doing a food drive this year, and it was going to stay and benefit locally. For those of you who aren't aware of this, Cape May County is actually the #1 county in the state for kids for food needs, and to be able to help in that way is amazing. So you guys got a couple different ways you can donate. So Kaitlyn and Brian, if you want to run us through how that's working, that would be awesome.
Absolutely. So if you're coming to visit the tasting room, we do have some containers right in the front entranceway that you can donate the different items we're collecting right now. If you can't make it to the tasting room, you can also donate online if you're doing an online order. So there's a lot of different ways that you can contribute and just kind of help out. And I do believe our food drive is kind of winding down this week. It's going to finish out on December 20th. So there is still time. So if you're in the area or if you're going to do some last minute online shopping, you can definitely donate either of those ways.
We have a great blog up on the site. Our content manager, Scott, does all of our blogs and all of our newsletters and everything. Does a great job with it. He wrote a really great blog, kind of detailing all of that different where it's going to, what you can do, the most needed items, and in this time of year, I mean, just every little bit helps. So, if you're stopping down, definitely grab some non-perishables, some blankets, some canned items, and just drop them in the bins if you can. It'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've worked with a lot of these groups at South Jersey Beer Scene, and the people that do this, it truly is a labor of love, and your stuff will get directly to the people that need it, which is, a lot of times you give things to people and you don't know what happens to them. I can tell you just from personal experience with the people that you're working with, it's going to get to the people that are in need. And this year it's a double whammy, with this thing going on and with people that were already hurting before this. And just to put a little top on that, you have local holiday shopping as well if you can't get to the Brewtique. There's a couple places that you guys have some merchandise, and Kaitlyn, I think Exit Zero.
Yep.
And
we did 2 pop-up stores. We have one throughout the whole year at West End Garage over in Cape May. So they have a really great selection of some of the merchandise you can also find at the Brewtique. And then this year we were really lucky. Exit Zero, it's a local fan favorite restaurant in Cape May. They actually invited us to be part of their perfect Christmas holiday village. So we have a really cool decked out booth there. It's really, really fun to go visit. They have Cape May beer and holiday music, and it's just like Christmas exploded everywhere. So it's definitely worth a visit if you can make it.
It's one of my favorite places year round, especially now. It really is a cool place. So one of the reasons we're here is to talk about beer, and we got the guy that we can talk with about the beer. So you guys had a really cool year. I mean, you guys have pivoted and put a lot of things in cans and had some really, really cool releases. And the one release that I always look forward to is one that just came out, which was Barrels of Barley. Go ahead, Kaitlyn, know what you're going to. So Barrels of Barley.
Yeah. It was amazing this year. It went really quickly.
But that doesn't mean you can't find it.
Yes, it did. We sent it out wholesale this year. Last year, we kept it all in house, and we wanted to see, how it would go if we cellared a bunch. So we kept some back to kind of hold on to, which we actually just released, I think yesterday or today in the tasting room, in the Brewtique there. So that's 2019 Barrels of Barley, and so 2020 is out in the trade. Didn't go to all of our liquor stores. It went to probably maybe 100 throughout the state of New Jersey, if I had to guess, maybe a little more. And I'm sure Chris Martin's going to comment any minute now. And
exactly. He's driving them around everywhere.
Yeah. So every year we do Barrels of Barley as our annual holiday beer, barrel-aged beer and bottle conditioned, very old school, and large 750 milliliter bottles, beautiful gold foil label with wax on there, the whole 9 yards with it. And we change up the base beer that goes into the barrels, and we change up the barrels every year. And the very beginning of the first time we did it, we started doing with using the barrel as an ingredient. So everyone, when you make beer, you can throw different hops into it, different yeast, different malt, fruits, flavors, whatever. But the barrel itself acts as a really awesome ingredient. And when you get a chance to explore what that barrel's influence is, the best way to do that is to do the same liquid into different sets of barrels. And so for the barrels of barley, this year, the 2020 version, we have these gorgeous, massively, they're 500 liter Portuguese sherry casks, and they're just massive. They were a couple 100 pounds empty, probably pushing 1,000 pounds full. They're like 5 feet off the ground, and almost 6-7 feet long, and great barrels. And so the Portuguese sherry held the same liquid as also a Grand Marnier barrel, and what we put into this year is a nice, very rich, robust Belgian quad. And so seeing the side-by-side difference of the barrel's influence is always my personal favorite aspect of the barrels of barley. And so you really see what the barrel does as an ingredient, which is just an oak vessel holding liquid. How can that be an ingredient? It's a vessel, but it really imparts unique characteristics to each of the different variants. And so that's always my favorite thing, doing the final side-by-side, really seeing what the difference of it is. And last year we did, hey, there's Chris. Last year
he was watching.
We did bourbon, and we did port barrels, and we did aged the Baltic Porter in them. And so they were wildly different than each other. We just actually tasted Matt, one of our labbies, our lab tech Matt. He and I tasted them yesterday. We filmed them. I think we're going to put it up on social at some point. Just a little tasting video, kind of seeing how they were progressing. And the ones from last year are aging beautifully. And so every year we change up the style of beer that goes into the barrels, and we change up the barrel source to it. And it's just a really fun, ongoing project that we keep doing. And so this year we sent some out to the trade because we wanted to get the special, especially this year, like you can't really travel, you can't do gatherings. So like, it's just been such a weird year. We really thought that it would be a nice treat to get that out there to, all the reaches of the state, as opposed to just here in our home backyard here. So this year it sold out a little quicker in the tasting room, but you can definitely go find it on liquor store shelves. I've seen it a couple places already. So definitely stop in and check out for that.
Yeah, I do for research purposes only. I stop in liquor stores all the time, and I saw it in a couple places today, locally here in South Jersey. And great packaging. It's a cool thing. It's a great gift. I mean, for somebody that would. You guys, your packaging is awesome. And every year I get my people from up north that are like, "Hey, man, can you run to the brewery for me and get that barrels of barley?" And
nice.
So this year it's out there. I do have a question from Paul DeMarco here, and I'm going to put it up. Where's all the mop water? All the stores around here are out, and Swinging the Lamp is awesome. He loves your stuff. So there it is, the Swinging the Lamp. So what's up with the old mop water?
Mop water has had such a fun journey because it was one of our very first seasonal beers. Came out for the first time in October of 2013 as a draft only, and people fell in love with it. We thought it was just a throwaway, one-off, silly name, mop water. Who's going to drink mop water? But it's
everyone.
The pumpkinless pumpkin beer, we called it. A very nice kind of winter warmer meets a fall spice beer, kind of toes that line. And it went over great. And so the next year we did it again, and then we started bottling it. And then once we started canning, we canned it. And then it had reached like about 5 years in packaging. And typically, you reach that point where a seasonal brand will start to lose its velocity. It's not going to pull through quite as quick just because people have tried it. They want to try something new. And so last year, we made the decision we wanted to try and get some newer brands out to full market. And so we didn't distribute mop water last year at all. It was only in the tasting room. We did like 400 or 500 cases, tasting room only release. And there was a lot of backlash. Every salesperson heard from accounts like, "Why can't we get mop water? We need mop water." Like, what do you mean it's only at the brewery? And so we went complete 180. We went from, nope, we're not going to wholesale it. It's, small tasting room only, a farewell batch. It was just going to be like hey, you love this beer. We loved it. Like one last go. And the reaction was it was funny. None of us saw it coming. We really honestly thought that beer had ran its course, as it happens all the time. You change what bands you're listening to, you change what clothes you wear, you change what kind of car you drive, like you change what beer you're drinking. It happens. And we just thought that the time was coming for that brand, and we got it wrong. And we decided this year that we were bringing it back, and we brought it back in full force. So we did a very, very large volume this year. A couple thousand cases went out throughout the state of New Jersey, and little went to Pennsylvania. I believe some went to Delaware. Don't quote me on that. And it's flying. It's flying out of the shelves. We sold through it very quickly, and I'm assuming we're going to do it again next year. I don't know. We haven't released any kind of release calendar or anything yet, but the reaction's been awesome. People love that beer, and I love it too. It's definitely it's a unique beer. It's not overly spiced. It's not overly pumpkinish or winter warmer. Like it's a great beer. Good campfire beer. Nice fall night. You were in that hoodie. There's nothing better than sometimes September, October, November, whenever it decides to actually turn into fall. And it's that first night where you see your breath in the air and you're wearing a hoodie. Like that's mop water season. Like you get to crack that first mop water, and it's a great feeling. But I'm glad we did it again. I'm glad it came back. So when we first started doing this, it's funny. Like mop water was like the craft beer drinker's secret. Oh, have you had the mop water? Like it was like this big, hub. Yeah, I've had the mop water. It's that and Turtle Gut. That was the other one we hear all the time. But it's like, have you heard this? And this mop water thing. And it's funny. The other one that we get the questions for, and I know it's the crushing it. And hey, why don't they have crushing it? Why don't they have this? Why don't they have that? It's just such a following. I think if you did not make that anymore, there would be pitchforks and bonfires down there by the airport. In fact, I stopped to see my friend Jay at Westville Liquors the other day, and I looked in case he had one 12-pack left that was hidden behind somewhere. And I called somebody and I said, if you want this, it's at Westville right now. You need to come and get it. And I said, it's probably right now when you got to get it. So it's really funny just to that people pursue certain beers that you guys have. So kind of cool. What else do we got going on down at Cape May beer wise? So Swinging the Lamp, that's what I'm actually sipping on right now in my fancy Tap That Glass.
Tap That Glass.
Tap That Glass, yeah.
So fun to say.
Tap That Glass. So Swinging the Lamp was the most recent seasonal that we came out. Eight and the Bread was the best beer. I love that beer. So thank you, Chet. And Eight and the Bread was awesome. That was the 100% Brett fermented double IPA that our lab team designed. Lauren, our lab manager, and Matt, our lab tech, they designed it, and it was just a great fun beer. But because the science behind it, it was Brett, so we can't do it at the large scale. Crop contamination. I won't get into all that, but maybe one day we'll do it again. I'd love to see it come back. But yeah, Eden Bread. But yeah, Swinging the Lamp. That's our most recent wholesale seasonal release that came out right before Thanksgiving, November 20 something or another, somewhere in that range. It's drinking great right now. Definitely, it's a big monster of a hot bomb. 8%. We use this crazy Norwegian Kvike yeast on it, so it ferments way hotter than any normal yeast would ferment at. Gives it these really exotic coconut, cedar, tropical notes to it, and pairs really nicely off these beautiful New Zealand hops we get. We get Mutir, Raka, and Motueka hops for it. And so it really just brings this nice bouquet of these tropical flavors. And it's just it's a crusher of a beer. Even though it's 8%, it just it goes down nicely. And so yeah, that went out wholesale. Get it all across the state. I believe, like I said, probably PA, I think. I don't keep as close tabs anymore as I used to.
I'm guessing probably. I mean, that was a pretty big release that you guys had. If I could comment a little bit, one thing that I do love about Cape May, and I know that I'm here hosting on your channel, is that a lot of people put out IPAs and you can barely tell a flavor profile difference between the different names. I love that you guys have these seasonal IPAs that you can actually distinguish when you have two next to each other. And I know, Brian, as beer nerds like we are, I mean, it's like, oh, what's the next one coming out? I'm going to walk by this. The fact that you guys are able to get something so consistent year by year by year, but yet so different from each other is amazing. You speak to a little bit about that, like so you guys are getting this recipe together. Where do you start when you're, because IPA does rule the roost. Where do you start with an IPA, and what do you do to get that different flavor profile? How does that even work?
Really, with you're going to make a cake, right? Well, you don't start throwing ingredients together. Oh, let's throw some flour, some here's some vanilla. Oh, let's throw carrots in there. No, you're gonna know what you want to make at the end of it. So what's the end goal there? And then we're gonna work backwards. And so if we're making a new double IPA, so hops are going to be the predominant showcase feature. Okay, so what hops are we going to use? All right, we're going to pick this and this and this hop. Okay, let's tailor the malt bill to support that. Or do we want the malt bill to be like completely out of the way, complementary? Maybe the malt's going to be part of the showcase. How about the yeast? So swinging the lamp, we wanted a very expressive yeast strain on that. And so this beer was all about finding the right hops to pair off of the yeast. And so we wanted the malt bill to just get out of the way, play the supporting role, just be kind of neutral, just support the hops and the yeast there. So knowing that end goal in mind is what we start with, and then we'll work backwards and design the beer to fit that. And so really a lot of times it comes down to, check out this new hop. This new hop we're playing with is awesome. We're getting notes of this, that, and this. This would really go well with this other hop. Let's make a beer around that. And then so we'll kind of design it that way. And we'll work very closely with marketing to make sure the name works and make sure the description works and all the stuff that goes on the can there. We work. So I work in the production department, and we work very closely with the marketing department to design, to develop all of the on the cans. You got the profile that talks about the description of it, and we put the different sidebars on there, and there's a ton of information on this can, and we spend a lot of time talking about what specifically is going to go on here, even down to we put the pairings on here, like what should you pair it with. They're not just thrown on there just because the icons are funny. Oh, this has a cake, a fish, and a piece of cheese. Oh, that's funny. Let's put them. No, there's a reason why we're going to put them on there. We suggest what glass to put out of. So we have the Nonic glass on here. It's very similarly shaped to this Tap That glass. And so it's designed to really drive out the hop aromatics. We don't want to drink this beer in a pint glass because that's going to not project out the aroma. We want something that's going to really support and lift up those aromatic qualities to it. And so we work very closely on the production side as we're developing these beers with the marketing team. Alicia, Courtney, Scott, they just got a new member of their team, Casey. They're all great. I love all those guys on the marketing end, and work very closely designing these beers and making sure that the liquid in the can speaks to what we're talking about. It's a very important thing for us. We don't want to say that it's, juicy, soft, exotic. Swinging the Lamp is a double New England style IPA, and then it's harsh and bitter and thin, and so we're very thoughtful with everything we do, and we design the beer and all the total package that goes into it. So,
and it's not just you. Then Kaitlyn comes along, and you have the merchandising and marketing and the Brewtique that goes along with everything. So where do you come in on this end of the spectrum here? So I know your merchandise and the way that you sell stuff really ties into, how it starts from the brewery. And I talked to Courtney a little bit about how your think tank works when you're coming up with these specialty beers. I think that's awesome. I can't imagine. So speak to a little bit of that, Kaitlyn.
Well, everybody at the brewery, I mean, they're very passionate about what they do, which makes doing what we do really easy because we love what we do. But everybody's planners too. We take a lot of time to figure out what is the plan. So we have a plan for the entire year, and then it gets broken down even smaller than that. So the Brewtique team, we focus on, all right, what's our goal for spring, summer, and what's our goal for fall, winter? And we have a look at what the beers are going to be. And Brian was talking about mop water, and he was expressing the mood you're in and what's the environment like when you're drinking it. And he was like, yeah, it's when you first are on that sweatshirt. It's when you first put on that beanie. So like our team, the Brewtique team and our merchandise team, we want to create products that speak to what you're feeling when you're drinking that beer. Like what products can we bring to the table that are going to speak to mop water when it starts to get cold? We want you to throw on the Cape May Brew Co. hoodie, or maybe like this fabulous new beanie. And like when you're sitting at the fire, we want like everything about that experience to talk to each other, from the beer to what you're wearing to what you are drinking out of. So we come in, you know, they've decided what the beer is going to be, and we're like, all right, how can we help enhance that experience? What products can we add to it that are going to really just bring everything together when you're sitting at home, or you're sitting with your friends, or you're sitting at dinner drinking our beer, that's just going to bring it to that next level. So they kind of fill us in at their plan, and we kind of take that and we start to use it to build ours. So it's December now, but I'm already thinking about spring, summer, and communicating like with marketing and production on like, all right, what's the summer beers looking like? All right, cool, great. All right. I know I can start to think about these logos, and, you know, we have this kind of beer coming out. So that helps me think about colors. And it's really interesting how it does really talk to each other. It doesn't really, from the outside, think like clothing, apparel, merchandise, glasses is going to speak to the beer, but it does. And we hope to continue the story the beer's telling, really.
And it goes even further than that, the website and what Scott does. And
Scott,
go ahead. I mean, you speak. I mean, it really is amazing how the synergy we spoke of before we got on real quick. We do a little plan. The synergy that you guys have from the marketing department to, you know, with Scott writing the stuff, to Brian, to the guys on the canning line, to the people in the Brewtique, to the guys driving the trucks. You can ask any person a question, and I can almost guarantee you that they will know or have some sort of answer and know how to get it. It's a pretty cool thing. Yeah. So good group effort.
Yeah, the planning that goes into it is there's a lot. It's not just like when you're homebrewing. I'm sure there's a lot of homebrewers tuning in. Like, I want to make an IPA, so let's go see Guy over at Eastern Homebrew and buy some, you know, some hops and some yeast and some malt, and I got water at home. Okay, cool. I'm making a beer. Oh, what am I gonna call it? Oh, new hoppy beer. Put it on tap. Everyone drinks it 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. It's great. It's awesome. You know, we're planning minimum 3 to 6 months out. A lot of it's, you know, a whole year out. You know, because there's just a lot that goes into it. All the artwork, a lot of regulatory, the TTB, the Alcohol, Tobacco, Tax and Trade Bureau, the governing body who regulates the beer industry. We have to make sure the label fits their approval, that they're going to be okay with it. You know, we're not making any false claims on there. Oh, this beer is going to give you superpowers. Like, they're going to deny that. And so we have to just plan ahead to make sure that we have all of our suppliers lined up, and that we have cans. Oh my God, that's the biggest headache. It really is right now.
Everybody felt that headache this summer.
Yeah. Maybe cans. Like, you know, we have to plan all that out in advance, and so we make it seem very, you know, when things come out on time and they look pretty and they match up with the release schedule. It looks very seamless, but a lot of background work goes into it.
I did want to ask. I was thinking, when I knew that you were going to come on, I was going to ask. Been thinking about this question. So, what are the things that you changed in this COVID universe that we're living in that are actually going to be practical whenever we go back to normal life? Is there things that you found that you're doing now that are actually different than what you were doing before, that you're going to continue doing after, or are you working in a different kind of bubble right now? I mean, either one of you.
Yeah. I'd start. I mean, the Brewtique, one like positive COVID that we like kind of started taking, and our team figured out a really efficient way to do. Like, we started doing pre-orders for people for release days. Our team works really, really hard, like 2 weeks in advance on when there's a new beer coming out. And we really want to get you that beer as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible, so you can get it, take it home and enjoy it. So a lot of the policies that came from COVID really help us on release days to make it the best experience possible for people lining up to get, any of the Crushing It sister family beers, which are the most chaotic, crazy days, but they really do move super efficiently. And like our team has a blast on release days. And we hope the people who come and line up on release days have fun. But it's a lot of like the behind the scenes stuff our team changed for COVID to keep us safe, to, keep our customers safe. They actually made us more efficient, just from like a customer service standpoint and everything on the back end as well on our website. So that's something that happened, and we're going to keep rolling with it for a while, I guess.
That's good. And Brian, on your end, anything?
On the production end, obviously, before COVID, we did a lot of draft beer, tasting room. We go through a lot of draft there. Out in the wholesale market, we do large volume of draft beer. Obviously, once COVID hit and bars had to shut down, unfortunately, and the tasting room was shut down for a number of months there, except for to-go sales out of the Brewtique, we pivoted and put a lot more liquid to cans than we did to draft. So coming out of COVID, it's really going to be what the consumers want. If bars pick back up and if the Brewtique, the tasting room really starts, moving the draft that they, are known to do, then we'll pivot and we'll put more liquid back to draft. So on the production end of it, we're just kind of staying nimble, staying flexible, and just roll the punches of it. And if indoor dining gets shut down, okay, we're supposed to package this beer and keg it off, or we're gonna put the cans instead. Kind of go from there.
So you guys kind of pivoted on the run. I can see, where a lot of the practices, even in my business, that we do because of COVID, we're going to implement afterwards, because we never really had to think about it before because we could just do it. And now we found a more efficient way to do it. And just knowing how your business works amongst the people, I'm sure that it stunk the first week and then you guys figured it out, as most people did, which is cool.
Yeah.
It was a really nice team effort. And I think everybody got really creative, and it was like, all right, every idea is on the table. Let's talk it through. Let's figure out the best plan and let's go with that. And the second that wasn't the best plan, how can we pivot that and make it even better and just roll with it? Which is really nice.
Before we go, we're getting close to our time here, but I want to talk about Christmas pairings. Let's talk about a Christmas pairing from one of your beers with something you do. So whoever wants to chime in, Brian or Kaitlyn, let's talk about a Christmas pairing that we may not know.
You
about.
go first.
Let John go first. John, what do you got?
There we go. Yeah.
So I love the new coffee stout that you guys released. I think it's great. I really love it. It hits all the notes that it's supposed to. Even though I'm a fat guy, that's mostly from beer and cheesesteaks, I eat cookies about Christmas time. That's it. And to sit there and have a couple cookies with one of those coffee stouts in there, and as it warms up, the way that the flavor and the nuances change in that beer with those cookies is a little slice of heaven. And I'm not a sweets guy, but that is the one thing I do enjoy is the Christmas cookies, because, we'll get a bevy of them. And I love the new coffee stout. I think it's a great change, something different. I love the stomp too, but this was something that was really, really thought out well, and it's great. It's perfect. So that's my Christmas pairing, is beer with cookies. I really went out on a limb there. Kaitlyn, what about you?
Oh man, peer pressure. I think like the first one that jumped to my head is I'm drinking Cape May White right now, but I do have a 4-pack of Ties the Room Together in my fridge that I am saving for Christmas. My siblings love it. I love it. We usually during the holidays pick a family movie, and that's like kind of like our end of festivities things where we all sit down and grab a beer now that we're all old enough and watch some holiday cheerful movie on TV. So I'm excited to crack open a Ties the Room Together for that.
And Ties the Room Together, for those of you who don't know, is a white stout. Is that
white stout, white cream stout.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's different. It's very unique in the market.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so good. Dangerously good, actually.
Somebody from the Cape May Brewing Company hears that Santa loves a Cape May coffee stout instead of milk with his cookies on Christmas. That sounds like a guy. Yeah. And, Brian, you got something that you want to add for that?
We have an upcoming product that's coming out soon. I can't let out much detail. It's going to come out probably in the near future, hopefully in the next couple days. And I think it's going to pair perfectly well with just like cuddling up on the couch, warm fireplace, wear a hoodie. Stay tuned to the social channels for when we do make potentially announce something. I'm not sure. But something definitely going to pair well with just like holidays, being at home. Yeah, definitely a good beer for that. So unfortunately, I can't give out any more details than that right now. But a pairing that we do have, I think, Kaitlyn, do you guys still have Applebaum in the Brewtique?
Oh, yeah. So
Applebaum is one of our like local fan favorite beers, one of our earliest beers. We did it years ago, well before I even started. That's going back to very, very old times. And we do it like usually once a year, just a small like one-off batch just to get it out there for some of the locals. And so that came out right before Thanksgiving. I think actually Thanksgiving week it came out. And it's just a great beer. It's got some punch to it, 8%, but it's very light, very easy drinking, and a little sweetness to it, a little tartness. So that'll pair nicely with really a nice hearty meal. Big, get like a pot roast or whatever. A nice like hearty, meat and potatoes kind of night. Something around with the family, and that beer goes really nicely with that because it's just easy drinking. It's lighter, but at 8%, it can get the job done efficiently. So
that's great. And so we're going to go make sure that you get to the food drive over at the Brewtique. If you're doing an order, you can add to your order and donate. And Kaitlyn and the gang are going to make sure it gets to where it goes to. Kaitlyn, what's the Brewtique's hours for the holidays right now?
12 to 7. We are closed on Christmas Day, but 12 to 7 every other day. You can also do pre-orders online for pickups. And we are still doing online orders as well. Our team's working really hard to get stuff out as fast as possible so it can get to everybody's house as quickly as it can. But yeah.
That's cool. And on a personal note, I'd like to say thank you to everybody at CMBC for welcoming me into the family to do these shows. Courtney and everyone in the marketing department, thank you for allowing South Jersey Beer Scene to be a small part of your family. And I won't see you guys till next year. So, happy holidays, happy new year. Go out and get some CMBC beers, and let's keep your eyes to ears on the social media there for the big tease that our friend Brian gave us. And for Brian and for Kaitlyn, thanks for watching Thirsty Thursday, and we'll see you next month. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.